Originally in Dark Souls, there was going to be a storyline in the Forest Covenant involving Shiva. Just like in the final version of the game, you would speak to him in Darkroot Garden, and he would move to Blighttown. Unlike the final version of the game, when you spoke to him in Blighttown, he would talk about how he was searching for the Chaos Blade. So naturally, the next step was to go get the Chaos Blade. I'm speculating here, but I think at this point in development, the Chaos Blade was located somewhere in Blighttown or the Demon Ruins, and not a weapon made from Quelaag's soul. Afterwards, if you return to Shiva with the Chaos Blade, he would ask you if you would give it to him. If you did, he would betray and kill you, running away with the blade. Like with Lautrec and Anastasia, you'd receive a unique black eye orb, which would allow you to invade Shiva and reclaim the Chaos Blade, or Blade of Chaos as it's called in the orb's description. The orb could then be used in a very small area surrounding the statue in the courtyard of the Painted World. It probably would have been pretty easy to miss if you didn't already know where it was. In any case, using the orb would let you invade Shiva, where you could finally get your revenge. A fun fact about this is that the orb and the invasion event are both still in the game, and are fully functional. There's no legitimate means to get the orb, but it's still possible to invade Shiva, and I'm going to show you how. First off, you'll want to beat the gargoyles and Quelaag. This will cause Lautrec to kill Anastasia and give us access to his black eye orb. It's not the one for Shiva, but any orb is better than none. From there, head back to the asylum and collect the peculiar doll. After that, it's time to head through Sen's fortress, take out the Iron Golem, and proceed to Anor Londo. Proceed through Anor Londo like normal, and turn the big staircase so you can get into the painting room and to the Painted World. You'll want to clear out all of the enemies in the first area, including all of the enemies going up to the top of the first tower. From there, you can jump directly over the corner of the lower railing to get into the courtyard early. Open the shortcut leading back to the beginning of the area, and clear out the phalanx surrounding the statue. It's now time to invade Shiva, but we'll need to talk about item swap first. Item swap is a glitch that lets you use items you wouldn't normally be able to. It's performed by queuing an item you can't use, performing a weapon toggle, interrupting the toggle by falling off of a ledge, and then using an item you can use on the frame you touch the ground. The result is that you'll get the effect of the first item, but with the animation of the second. I'll link to a more detailed tutorial on item swap in the description. Now there's only one place we can perform item swap from while still landing inside the invasion zone. To get there, you'll want to jump from the corner of the highest part of the first tower, and land on this corner of the railing. Once you're there, run around to build up enough speed to jump, and jump over to the crates. Finally, roll over to the farthest crate. You don't want to be too close or too far from the edge when you roll, or you won't make it across the gap. I try to roll from the middle of the white part of the edge. Now, you would think we just need to perform item swap from here, but it's not that simple. The crate is high enough that our character will enter a landing animation when we touch the ground. This landing animation prevents normal item swap from working. Now, you might have seen someone, or have yourself, rolled out of a landing from a high fall. This works because when you input a roll as soon as you touch the ground, it cancels the landing animation, which allows you to follow it up with another roll immediately. You can also queue other actions out of the animation cancel, however, such as weapon toggling. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Instead of using the second item on the frame we land, we instead cancel the landing animation by inputting a roll, then follow it up one frame later with the second item's use. Unfortunately, inputting multiple frame-perfect inputs at 60 FPS is far from easy. This is the complete clip from where I pulled it off. It took a couple dozen attempts. When you get onto the far crate, you'll want to position yourself far to the right, so your character is mostly aligned with the edge. Move so your right foot is almost completely off of the ledge, then cue the black eye orb, toggle your weapon, interrupt the toggle by falling, input a roll as soon as you touch the ground, and follow it up by using another item one frame later. If done correctly, the black eye orb will trigger, and we'll be able to invade Shiva. You can finally get your revenge on Shiva with no external tools required, even though he didn't actually do anything. In any case, both he and the ninja will be there, and defeating Shiva will reward you with a souvenir of reprisal. Sadly, you don't get the Chaos Blade for beating him. That would have been pretty cool. So another fun fact about this is that we can repeat the invasion an unlimited amount of times. Because we're using Lautric's Black Eye Orb to invade, the game doesn't remove it from our inventory after we're done, as it doesn't have the right ID. So you could technically use this as a farming method for souvenirs of reprisal. It's definitely a lot more efficient to just get one and dupe it though. Another interesting thing is that the invasion does actually seem to have an impact on Shiva. When I rejoined the Forest Covenant, he was back in Darkroot Garden rather than in Blighttown, and I couldn't speak to him. The ninja was also completely missing. I checked Blighttown as well to see if either of them would also be there, but nope. Shiva was only in Darkroot, and the ninja was just gone altogether. So interestingly, the invasion completely gets rid of the ninja, but not Shiva. I was also curious if killing Shiva in the invasion would count as betraying the Forest Covenant, and as it turns out, it does not, so they accounted for that. Anyway, that's about it for this video. I know it's a bit shorter than my usual videos, but it was something I learned about and thought was pretty interesting. So I hope you found it interesting or entertaining, and I will see you guys in another video.